The genocide in Gaza is under review at the International Court of Justice. But genocide is not simply one group's violence toward another with the intent to annihilate. It is rooted in a mindset that has reemerged across history and geographies. This mentality, this article argues, enables even genocide survivors to become genocide perpetrators. Genocide research has developed vast theoretical frameworks, yet Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant's statements during the Gaza assault starkly reveal the core genocidal mindset. I have released all restraints. We are fighting human animals. Gaza won't return to what it was before. We will eliminate everything. Netanyahu also employed similar rhetoric, referring to a battle against the bloodthirsty monsters who have risen up to destroy us. This terminology is not a transient reaction to Hamas's October 7th attacks. Rather, it reflects a persistent mindset. Indeed, even in times of relative peace, February 10, 2016, Netanyahu used the same racist and dehumanizing language against Palestinians. In our neighborhood, we need to protect ourselves from wild beasts. Phrases like human animals, wild beasts, bloodthirsty monsters expose the ontological foundation of genocide. No restraint signals methodology of boundlessness, and eliminate everything reveals the end goal. Understanding these parameters is essential to grasp the genocide in Gaza. This analysis is also critical to unpacking the complicity of those who support or ignore this genocide. Legal measures alone are insufficient to prevent genocide. Since World War II, international norms have failed to stop mass atrocities in Rwanda, Myanmar, Bosnia, and now Gaza. Without addressing the genocidal mindset, preventing future crimes will remain elusive. Unveiling the mindset of genocide. Ontological base of genocidal mindset, human animals. The definitions of Palestinians as human animals by Gallant as wild beasts, bloodthirsty monsters by Netanyahu indicate that the massacres in Gaza have reached the level of genocide. Such definitions highlight the impossibility of legitimizing genocide without establishing an ontological exclusion based on existential differences among people. David Livingstone Smith describes this phenomenon, seen across various societies throughout history. The act of conceiving of other human beings as subhuman creatures is not limited to a single culture or just one historical period. The evidence is overwhelming that we human beings periodically view other members of our species as not really people at all, but rather as less than human beings that it is morally permissible or even obligatory to harm or to kill. The International Court of Justice references a 16 November 2023 press release by 37th UN Special Rapporteurs and experts who expressed alarm over genocidal and dehumanizing rhetoric from senior Israeli officials. The United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, 27 October 2023, were highly concerned about the sharp increase in racist hate speech and dehumanization directed at Palestinians since 7 October. These observations are crucial for identifying the mental framework underpinning genocide. The notion of ontological inequality, from ancient Aryan caste systems to modern racism, legitimizes the extermination of one race by another. This idea leads to categorizing communities as subjects of existence and others as objects whose right to live can be annulled if they do not comply. Terms like master superior race and chosen people reflect this mentality. The principle that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights, in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, is founded on absolute ontological equality. Achieving this principle was challenging. Understanding its significance requires analyzing another concept integral to the mental infrastructure leading to World War II, underman, untermensch. Lothrop Stoddard, who used this term a quarter century before the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, based the struggle between man and underman on ontological inequality. The idea of natural equality is one of the most pernicious delusions that has ever afflicted mankind. Nature knows no equality. The most cursory evaluation of natural phenomena reveals the presence of a law of inequality as universal and as inflexible as the law of gravitation. Stoddard warned white people in the man category about the threat posed by Jews and blacks in the underman category in his work The Revolt Against Civilization, The Menace of the Underman. After its translation into German as Der Kulturumsturz, Die Drohung des Untermenschen in 1925, the concept of Untermensch became central to Nazi racial discrimination theory, particularly through Nazi theorist Alfred Rosenberg. While these theories may seem archaic, their relevance persists. The apartheid regime in South Africa continued nearly half a century after the declaration, and discriminatory policies in the USA lasted for decades. This status is similar to that of African Americans in the southern United States until 1964. Legal victimization of the Jews, as of African Americans, was justified because it was condoned by the law. Consequently, it was legal to kill an African American in the South. Even during the civil rights years, killings of blacks occurred for which no one was convicted. For example, on August 28, 1955, Emmett Till, a young African American from Chicago who was visiting his relatives in Mississippi, was killed for talking to a white woman. The rise of extreme right-wing populist movements, based on exclusionary frameworks targeting various ethnic and religious communities in the United States and Europe, is significant. Gallant's definition of human animals serves as a chilling warning. It is no coincidence that South Africa reacted most sensitively to the Gaza genocide. President Ramaphosa and Foreign Minister Pandor have personally experienced apartheid's racist historical reality. What stands out even more here is the support by Israel, which was founded supposedly to erase the traces of centuries-old ghetto apartheid history, for the apartheid regime in South Africa. The definition of human animals is even harsher and more exclusionary than underman. While underman indicates a categorical differentiation between human beings, human animals suggests a category between humans and animals. From the perspective of ontological inequality, the difference between Untermensch, inferior humans, and human animals lies in justification. The former has a pseudoscientific basis, while the latter has a theological one.